Guys, wait, what just happened to my voice? Wait a minute. So you guys, welcome back to another stream, and today uh, we're gonna talk about why should we be ethical, and yeah, we're just gonna talk about why should we be ethical because I was just thinking, why to care to be ethical, right? Why should you be a good person with moral values? Like, why to be that kind of person? So let me first introduce myself. So hello guys, I'm Rhythm. I'm a student. I'm an Indian and I'm trying to learn English and have a good command over this language and be more fluent with it, of course, and that's why I have this personal project. I don't care about any views and subscribers because this is just a personal project for my own sake, and that's why I don't care about all those YouTube statistics. Also, I repeat words like to be honest, like, you know, a lot. So I am consciously trying not to repeat those words. And here I have written a few keynotes for me to keep in mind that I should look in the camera before I speak, and I should even take pauses to have more impactful, deeper, clear voice, and even think more when I take pauses. So that's one thing that I'm gonna shortly do. And now I'm gonna like it's weird to just stare at the camera when there is your face in front of you. So I'm just gonna disable the preview and oh wait a minute, activate. Yeah, I'm gonna disable the preview. And guys, we talked about no, okay, not talked about. I promised that I am gonna I promise that I am gonna do 100 push-ups every day on every stream at the starting, but now I'm thinking that it's good to do push-ups, of course, but if someone's here just to read, just to learn about my opinions or like know some perspective about things, and I'm just doing 25 push-ups or like 100 push-ups at the starting, that's pretty weird. So I'm gonna do it at the end of the stream from now on. That's a thing I have made, and now I'm gonna watch some videos regarding why should you care to be ethical, and I just selected few based on their thumbnail, so let's see.
Reasons why you should study ethics. 3 reasons why you should study ethics. Number 1. Ethics helps you identify different kinds of moral values and distinguish them from other kinds of values.
Okay.
Values are an essential part of life. They are responsible for how we see and why we choose or do something. They help explain why we are different from each other.
Okay.
Why a student who values his studies, for example, stays up late during exams, or why a person who values his health sleeps early.
Okay.
There are many kinds of values, and not all values are equal. Some values, like moral values, are more fundamental, while others are mere preferences, like our preferred food, car model, or fashion. Ethics helps you define what moral values are. It provides you with the criteria for identifying and distinguishing them from other values. It helps
So it just basically gives you a framework how to proceed in life. Like it's like your Clearly test. I read about it in a book. Actually, really, I have read a really less number of books. Let me reframe the statement. Wait a minute. Actually, I have read a Actually, haven't read a huge number of books, so I just keep on quoting this book. I just keep on referring the same books, the same so-called books I have read, and that's why I repeat the book Start with Why a lot because that's one of the few books I have read. So let's proceed with the video. So wait, I was giving my opinion here. So the thing is, it gives you a basic framework how to take decisions. It's like a clearly test that when you know your values, your purpose, and your why, as per the book, you know how to proceed, like what's right and what's wrong, because it's like you have some set of rules to abide by. so that you can fall in those constraints and don't think or overthink or overanalyze things much, and just fall back on those constraints and proceed with a decision that's not really highly required to think, or even if it's required to think, following or proceeding with ethics just allows you to take decisions without overanalyzing and just helps you fall back on them. But the thing is, when your ethics are logically true, not orthodox, and maybe those ethics are created by you or yourself, but I think ethics then sustains your creativity, right? It puts a full stop on your creativity. No, actually, I don't know about it right now. Let's proceed.
You understand why moral values, such as honesty and responsibility, are more important than non-moral.
Maybe these ethics are just some tried and tested things from the past that our ancestors just happen to analyze over time, that these are the values that work. So we are gonna make it compulsory so that everyone can fall back on these values that we have spent hundreds and thousands of years to analyze, so that when we fall back on it, it's true, it works, and it's gonna work. But the thing is, the, the thing that works definitely doesn't mean it's right. I mean by that is, like, cheating also works, but that doesn't mean it's right, or maybe it is right, because the right and wrong are two black and white things, and the world is not black and white. So, like, oversimplifying things is bad, but simplifying things is great. Like, oversimplification is when you fall back on your mental model that you have just created, which happens to not work at a specific point. But yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. Let's continue.
Ones, and how they are related to our rights and responsibilities.
Wait a minute, I just want to say that sorry for the background noise. The kids in my neighborhood are like really creating some noise, so just ignore that, guys. Or maybe you can't even hear that because I have just put noise filters on my voice and my microphone, so it's cool.
As human beings. On a practical level, it helps you see the real value of things and what being morally good truly means in today's value-driven world. Number 2. Ethics helps you see what moral values are at stake in a variety of situations.
Okay.
Everyone has had the experience of looking at something a second time and noticing many things that one previously missed. One reason for this difference in perception is that one has learned more about what to look for in such things.
Yeah.
The same happens when you
Oh.
study ethics. Ethics allows you to see situations, particularly dilemmas, from an axiological perspective, meaning, from the perspective of value. It teaches you what values, especially moral.
Okay, so that point is really great, that you find more things or more details in a or more nuances in a particular thing when you like observe it a second time than you observed it the first time, because now you know more things to look at, and that's a thing I really appreciate, like really agree with, to be honest. Whenever I observe things, I always feel like observing things isn't enough, but coming to an conclusion about observing the things is really great. For example, if I'm just observing an ant, how what conclusion I form with that ant is something that should be valued. And the thing is, I can't come up with a conclusion that I don't know. You can't come up with thoughts that you don't previously know. You can't come up with a totally new thought. Although I want to know that skill, I want to learn that skill to come up with the thoughts that weren't ever before, if it could be learned, of course. And I don't know if it's possible or it's impossible, but the thing is, I can never come up with an observation. Like, for example, I was seeing an ant colliding or like hitting another ant, like, uh, just hitting them head on the face. It's straight on the face, and then like if the ant hit, then just moving apart the sideways, moving across the second ant to continue the path. So I just analyzed the situation and came to the conclusion that helps in my life is, or like the insight that I came up with was, always look straight and don't overthink. Like I came up with a conclusion that if you look at obstacles, you only see obstacles, and if you look at the clear path, you only see the clear path. That would say what I came with the conclusion about that. And that's because I already knew that conclusion, so I just applied it. Yeah, my beliefs is now my belief is more stronger because because the thing is your beliefs just keep getting stronger every day as you experience new things, because that's how your belief system is supposed to work. And that's what happens. I can't come up with new beliefs, I just polish my old beliefs. But I want to break all my beliefs and come up with a new set of beliefs so that I am more smarter, more intelligent, and of course can solve more problems, and solving more problems provide more value and 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 providing more value to the world helps you in monetary value as well. It gives back your financial value, and the money in your bank account serves it all. Money isn't everything, but it's so much thing that, but it affects so many things. That's something I feel. And we transcended from ethics to money, so it's pretty a cool thing, just continue.
Moral values to look for in such situations.
Yeah.
This helps you judge a situation's moral significance more objectively, weigh its available choices.
What does transcended means? I just use the word. Go further. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
Transcend.
Transcended, of course.
Carefully and react properly. Ethics also helps
Yeah.
you understand why people
It just
think,
gives you
choose,
a
and act differently
framework
from
in
each
it
other, even
a
given
net
the
to fall
same
back on.
situation.
Definitely,
And
I
number 3.
agree.
Ethics helps you decide what to do when faced with difficult moral choices. You heard it said, failing to
Okay, that means that you don't hinder upon your decisions. You are more decisive when you have more ethics. You are more decisive because you know what to do. You have already pre-planned your ideal case scenarios and you just proceed to accomplish those. You don't hinder here and there just for the sake of taking a decision. You are more particularly decisive. I don't know what I'm saying. Let me just think about it for a second. Like, it helps you take decisions appropriately as you wish you should, because the thing is you are more impulsive when you are taking decisions. Like you have that emotional constraint on yourself when you are taking decisions, which affects your decision making. So having pre-planned ethics or moral values just allow you to fall back on them at the times when your logical ability isn't at the fullest, and you just use your preconceived backup plan of being decisive to just take decisions, which is just better as compared to using your limbics to take decisions.
plan is planning to fail. Ethics helps you think ahead and prepare for.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I just wanted to. You just have an extra backup plan. Yeah, I just use that. But I like a quote is, if you're not if you don't, yeah,
Failing to plan.
if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. And there is another quote that is like, there is another quote that is something like, the best part the part of the plan is not going with the plan. That means every plan works in an ideal case scenario. Like if you made a plan, it would definitely work in an ideal case scenario. But the best plan is, or a better plan than an average plan is, that works in a not so ideal case scenario, not a utopic society, but a real society, a real world, if it works there. And real world have a lot of variables that affect things that are not even in your control, like unfair advantages, luck, or like all those things. Yeah, it matters. Okay, not, it's not in your control, but it definitely matters. So having a backup security or a thing to fall back on is something that's going with the not going with the plan is part of the plan. And I just said it anyways. It didn't even make some sense, but I just spit it out. So spitted it spitted it out. So well, I shouldn't have done it, but let's continue. And guys, the thing is, there's one weakness of mine that I talk a lot because it just polishes my ego, and I am pretty embarrassed about it. Not embarrassed about it, pretty sad about it, and I just want to change it. So I have just I haven't accepted it, so I should just accept it now. That okay, I talk a lot. It polishes my ego. Okay, well, okay, that's just me. Okay, well,
is planning to fail. Ethics helps you think ahead and prepare for morally difficult situations. Its case studies allow you to exercise your moral
okay.
imagination, to
Oh,
envision, and even feel the complexity and
okay.
intensity
So
of
you are thinking about things that are unlikely to happen. You will be in a dilemma. So you just try to practice your muscle of taking decisions by using ethics so that it just drives your decision better. Understandable, bro.
moral dilemmas in order to solve them. Moreover, ethics equips you with principles and processes that guide your moral reasoning
I'm
and
feeling like
help
my
you arrive
English
at
is
sound
has
moral
substantially
decisions.
increased now.
Although it's
That's cool.
impossible to fully prepare for future events, studying ethics and thinking about difficult situations in advance are definitely more helpful to decision making than not doing them. After
Okay.
all, you may not have the time or clarity of mind to think through such situations once they show up.
Yeah, that's what I just said. That's
To
what we
recap,
said.
here are the 3
That's what I
benefits of
said.
studying ethics. Number 1. It helps you identify different kinds of moral values and distinguish them from
Okay,
other.
so you can rate people accordingly that how high value they are or what they deserve, because a person with ethics or the person who abides with ethics is gonna follow this ethics. So you are more predictable to that person, that that person can't stab your back, or maybe that person can stab your back according to the ethics the person follows. So like you it's predictable that how the person is gonna end up. So you can choose people better when you have a strong understanding of ethics, and also ethics that other people, that the an ethics that drives other people as well. If you have that understanding, you can choose people, you can distinguish distinguish people on the basis of the ethics or like the values they follow, or even if they are that high quality or like superior enough or like smart enough to follow their ethics, or they just have that gold rush mindset that they just fall on every shiny object or the opportunity they get and don't care about their values or ethics, or they lack that self-respect and all, like they don't deserve like okay, not like they don't deserve, but the thing is you can just distinguish people, you can differentiate between people, but then the people you should likely to hang out with and the people who you shouldn't hang out with. Yeah.
Other kinds of values. Number 2. It helps you see
My
what
body
moral
language
values are
is
at stake in a variety of
all
situations.
right.
And number 3. It helps you decide what to do when faced with difficult moral choices.
Okay, all right.
These 3 benefits are related to each other. Each one leads to the next.
Okay,
Knowing what moral
it's just
values
like
are
a
allows you
framework
to
and
identify
like
them in various situations,
criteria to
which,
distinguish,
in
but
turn,
the thing
helps
is the ethics you follow should be great enough, or like at least accepted by you in the depth, by going into the first principle and accepting those, and then accepting an value and then driving with that value, or like embracing that value is something that you should try to do. I feel like.
helps you decide more correctly when faced with difficult moral choices.
Should I take more pauses or I'm speaking
Ethics
right?
is one of the
I
most
don't know if
interesting
I'm speaking
branches of
correctly or
philosophy
the
to
ideal
study.
method, but
It is a dynamic discipline, constantly challenged by debates, technology, and new human experiences. Studying ethics is important. Not only does it teach you about moral theories and principles, but more importantly, it helps you make better decisions and, ultimately, reduce life stresses and regrets. Subscribe to our channel for updated content.
okay, it's
Thank you,
done.
and see you in the next one.
Okay, I understand that. I accepted, I understand it that why being ethical is a right thing. Okay, so I don't have to react on so much things now, basically. That was
क्या आपकी
Marcus
जिंदगी में कोई
Aurelius, right?
रूटीन नहीं है? आप
What up, man? Okay, guys, that seems pretty legit. That why you should so accept, like, fall back on ethics, or why should you be ethical? Pretty much understand that, and let's see another video about it so that uh, we get a new perspective about it. Because why not? Okay.
I mean, the soundbite answer is you should be moral because, in the long run, looking at your real interests, it will be better for you. When you look at people like Madoff and so on, or going back to earlier similar crises, why do these people who already have so much money sacrifice ethical standards in order to have more? That's the bewildering thing. And I think it has to be that they have the wrong view of their self-interest. They actually believe that the difference between having 10 million and a billion is somehow a really important difference that is going to make their lives so much better and is worth taking risks for, because they must have known they were taking serious risks. And I think that's a mistake. I don't think there's any evidence that suggests that you're necessarily going to be happier as a billionaire than once you've got 10 million. I think the major difference between my views when I was just a graduate student and now is I give more weight to the idea that you can give an answer from the perspective of enlightened self-interest to the question, why should I be moral? I think it's very often, not always, but it's very often in our interest to have ethical standards.
Okay, guys, I can understand that, but first we should know that what is ethics at the first place. Study of what's right and wrong, what's morally correct, what is accept. Okay, so if we come to this conclusion here, we can state that ethics isn't something. Okay, guys, ethics isn't something that's socially accepted, but ethics is something that is. Let me just. Ethics isn't something that's socially accepted, but ethics is definitely something that's accepted by you. It's different. Okay, so if you're ethical, you are falling on your beliefs, not the beliefs imposed by others on you, right? You shouldn't be honest if you don't think so. That's ethics. But I think you should be honest, just clarifying that if you don't take it in the wrong sense. But just it was just an example. So yeah, the thing is that the person in the video, like we just watched, told that it just gives you more self-awareness or more self-interest about yourself. That okay, this is something like, okay, ethics are basically logics that guide your emotions. I think that's a good way to put it. Ethics are logics that guides your emotions. That's my conclusion to it. Ethics are logics that guide your emotions. So that's it for today, guys. Maybe let's meet tomorrow and discuss about more things. And first of all, I promise that I'm gonna do 25 push-ups, or at least 100 push-ups, but I can't go above 25, so I'm gonna definitely try to go rather instead. But the thing is, let's go. Ethics are logics that guides your emotions. And now we're gonna, yes, guys. So now we're gonna, yeah, do push-ups right here. So it's fun. one. Okay guys, 10 guys. That hurts. Eighteen. $20 guys. Got aim for 30 right now. Just take just taking a break before I do 10 more. So let's go. Ah, we did it guys. We did it. So that's it for today, I guess. See you later guys. I'm out of breath and there's a lot of pollution right now as well. So I don't know what to say. So bye guys.